It's 9:22. Welcome back to Fox 43 Morning News at 9. And 'tis the season for fleas and ticks. So we do have some tips this morning on keeping our pets safe with Dr. Bill Lewis from Lincoln Highway Vet Clinic. Dr. Bill, thanks so much for being with us today. So let's start with the obvious question. How do we know for sure that our pets have fleas or ticks?
Ticks generally can be very easy to find. They usually will occur more around the head region, the ears. I always check within the small little crevices of the ears. They'll have a tendency to try to hide there. Fleas can be a little bit more difficult, but there are ways just, brushing against the fur. You can tend to see the adult fleas or what we call the flea dirt, which looks like a little bit peppery type of a discharge. But they also, of course, make flea combs that you'll be able to comb the pet out and find the fleas that way.
And how do we get rid of those fleas? I know you mentioned the flea comb and, spotting the ticks by the ears, but how can we do this without harming our pets?
Yeah, really the best way is in the standpoint of prevention. And pretty much all of the medications that are available to us are safe. Yes, every medication can have some side effects, but there are oral medications, topical medications that are designed to try as best as we can to keep the fleas and ticks on the pet in the first place. Or what they'll do is they will shortly after kill the pests that we don't have to worry about them that way. But one of the ultimate ways of being able to control these pests, especially with the fleas, is outdoor treatment.
And how do you do that? Is that what you highly recommend for both flea and tick control? And what can pet owners do about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's professional companies that provide those services. And the nice part is they usually will have a guarantee. But if we can keep the flea out of the environment in the first place, then we don't have to worry as much of it being on the pet in the second place. Ticks are a little bit more difficult in the standpoint of environmental control, but that comes into play of just keeping our pets out of areas that there may be ticks involved. So high grass areas, potential wooded areas. Very good example. We love going to Gettysburg, but we've had a lot of tick issues, even just in the shorter grasses. So it's kind of trying to avoid the areas where the ticks are and prevent the fleas from being there in the first place.
And how can you check your pet for ticks specifically? It could be hard to if your pet has, black or brown fur, that it may be a little more difficult to dig in there and look. So what do you recommend those owners do?
Oh yeah, and unfortunately, ticks can look like other things, or other things can look like ticks. We can have warts that can almost look like a tick, or there's little cysts that can look like a tick, or even just a scab. If there's ever any question, I recommend setting up a quick appointment with your veterinarian. They can look at the area. They can make sure if it is a tick. They can appropriately remove the tick so that there's no issues that we have to worry about from there. Most of it done is relatively inexpensive. But if there's ever any questions, I would rather have an owner come to me and have it not be a tick than have it not be, and we end up having some type of trauma to the pet.
All right, Dr. Bill, thank you so much for joining us this morning and just giving us a friendly reminder that we should definitely be checking our pets for their own health and safety as well. We have a ton more information. You can head to fox43.com.